Plane incidents like this are extraordinarily rare, but when they occur, they ripple through our collective consciousness, reshaping how we perceive air travel. Picture yourself boarding a routine flight, feeling the excitement of a journey or the comfort of familiarity, completely unaware of the events about to unfold. How would you react if you suddenly found yourself in a life-altering situation midair? What happened early this morning at Alaska's main airport was beyond anyone's imagination. A scenario that felt plucked straight from the plot of a disaster movie. Passengers and staff alike were thrust into chaos, their sense of safety shattered in an instant. How does an ordinary morning descend into a catastrophe? Authorities are now racing against time to uncover the root cause of the incident. Could this change how we think about air travel safety? Will it give us pause before booking our next flight, or make us question the hidden risks of the skies? Join us as we delve into the astonishing events surrounding Alaska Airlines Flight 558, a flight that began as routine and ended as anything but. The day started like any other. Passengers arrived at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, checking their luggage, clearing security, and boarding the plane, oblivious to what lay ahead. When was the last time you considered the risks of flying? Statistically, air travel remains one of the safest forms of transportation, with far fewer incidents compared to driving or even walking. Yet, when something does go wrong at 30,000 feet, the stakes feel infinitely higher. On Alaska Airlines Flight 5558, the unthinkable happened. One moment, passengers were settling into their seats, and the next, they were thrust into a perilous fight for survival. A routine flight transformed into a mid-air emergency, testing the limits of the crew's expertise and the resilience of the passengers. But what triggered this chain of events? How did the crew navigate the crisis? And could this be the wake-up call that prompts significant changes in aviation safety protocols? Imagine yourself on that flight, your seatbelt fastened, the cabin filled with the hum of engines, and suddenly, an unsettling vibration disrupts the calm. How would you react? Today, we unravel the gripping tale of Alaska Airlines Flight 558, a story of courage, quick thinking, and the relentless pursuit of survival. The morning sun painted a golden hue over Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. For the passengers of Flight 558, it was just another day. Some were heading to business meetings, others to reunite with loved ones, and many to relax on vacations. Have you ever wondered about the lives of your fellow passengers, their hopes, dreams, and reasons for flying? The Boeing 737-900ER, a trusted workhorse of the skies, stood ready for departure. Its gleaming fuselage reflected the dawn light, a symbol of reliability and precision. Pre-flight checks were completed without issue, as they are before every journey. This aircraft, built to conquer gravity and traverse vast distances, had safely carried millions of passengers. Today, it was entrusted with the lives of those on Flight 558, a trust that would soon be tested in unimaginable ways. Stay tuned as we piece together the unfolding drama, the decisions that made the difference, and the lessons that could reshape the future of air travel. This is the story of Alaska Airlines Flight 558, an ordinary flight turned extraordinary. Captain John Miller, a veteran pilot with more than 2 decades of experience under his belt, exuded confidence as he conducted the pre-flight checks. His years of flying had honed an unshakable sense of assurance in his abilities and the capabilities of the Boeing 737-900ER he was about to command. Beside him sat his co-pilot, an equally seasoned professional, whose calm demeanor and sharp skills made them a formidable team. Together, they were the backbone of the flight, a pillar of safety for the passengers they were entrusted to transport. Meanwhile, the cabin crew, known for their efficiency and friendliness, moved seamlessly through their routines. They greeted passengers with warm smiles, assisted in stowing luggage, and ensured everyone was comfortably seated. The hum of engines starting and the faint hiss of the air system were familiar sounds to seasoned travelers, blending into the symphony of pre-flight preparations. All seemed perfectly routine. 20 minutes into the flight, the Boeing 737 cruised effortlessly through a pristine sky, a breathtaking patchwork of clouds stretching below. Passengers settled in, some napping, others engrossed in books or the view outside. It was the epitome of calm, the kind of moment when one least expects disruption. But then, an almost imperceptible vibration began emanating from the plane's right side. At first, it was so subtle that many would have ignored it, dismissing it as a mild encounter with turbulence. Passengers seated near the wing, however, might have noticed the faint tremor in their armrests or the gentle sway of the overhead lights. Up in the cockpit, Captain Miller detected the anomaly immediately. Years of experience had taught him that even the slightest irregularities deserved scrutiny. He cast a glance at the system monitors and noted the vibration source, the right engine, a CFM56-7B, an engine famed for its reliability. Yet, as with all technology, even the most dependable designs are not immune to failure. The subtle vibration soon grew in intensity, spreading unease among the passengers. What started as a mild tremor evolved into a persistent shaking that was impossible to ignore. Then came the sound, a deafening bang that shattered the relative tranquility of the cabin. Those seated near the right wing gasped in horror. Through the window, they could see the engine's cowling, the smooth aerodynamic shell that encased and protected the engine, violently rip away and disappear into the sky. The once orderly appearance of the aircraft was now marred by the exposed and trembling engine, its internal components laid bare. In that moment, the flight had transitioned from routine to crisis. The cowling's loss was far more than an aesthetic issue. It compromised the engine's safety and aerodynamic stability, significantly increasing drag and exposing the engine to turbulent airflow and potential damage. The CFM56-7B engines powering the Boeing 737-900ER are engineering marvels designed with redundancies to withstand high stress. However, like all machines, they are susceptible to wear, damage, and fatigue. Investigators would later identify the root cause of the incident: a damaged fan blade. Fan blades are critical to an engine's function, drawing air into the compressor where it is pressurized before combustion. Even a small chip or crack, perhaps from a bird strike or foreign debris, can destabilize the entire rotor assembly. This imbalance triggers abnormal vibrations that worsen over time, straining other components such as the cowling fasteners. On this flight, the relentless vibration ultimately caused the cowling to tear away. In the cockpit, Captain Miller faced a pivotal decision. Should he shut down the damaged engine entirely, reducing the plane's thrust but ensuring no further harm, or should he keep it running at reduced power to maintain control? After analyzing the situation with his co-pilot, he chose a measured approach. Reduce the engine's power to minimize the vibration while keeping it operational to assist in maintaining altitude and stability. Their goal was clear: execute an emergency landing at Seattle as swiftly and safely as possible. Inside the cabin, the atmosphere had transformed. The once relaxed passengers were now gripped with fear, many staring wide-eyed at the vibrating engine through their windows. Whispers of alarm filled the air, punctuated by occasional sobs. The flight attendants, however, remained composed. They moved calmly through the aisle, reassuring passengers and instructing them to fasten their seatbelts. Their professionalism helped quell panic, allowing passengers to focus on preparing for what lay ahead. As the aircraft approached Seattle, every decision carried immense weight. The compromised engine struggled, but it provided just enough power for the plane to maintain a controlled descent. Emergency services were on high alert, awaiting the plane's arrival. Captain Miller expertly maneuvered the aircraft as it descended toward the runway, his hands steady on the controls, guiding the plane with calculated precision. The engines hummed softly as the wheels made contact with the tarmac, and though the landing was slightly rough, marked by a series of brief but noticeable jolts, Miller's experienced touch ensured that the aircraft remained under control. The plane's tires screeched against the surface, the vibrations reverberating through the fuselage, but the captain managed to bring the craft to a smooth and controlled halt. A wave of relief flooded the cabin as the aircraft came to a complete stop, the tension that had gripped both passengers and crew slowly easing away. Almost immediately, the evacuation slides deployed with a hiss, their rubberized surfaces unfurling in a cascade of bright yellow as emergency lights flickered on. The crew moved swiftly, guiding the passengers with urgency yet calm assurance. In just a matter of minutes, the once persistent hum of the engines was replaced by the sound of footsteps on the ground as all passengers and crew made their way to safety, quickly and efficiently. The scene unfolded in a well-rehearsed symphony of coordinated action, every moment marked by meticulous precision, ensuring everyone was safely evacuated without further incident. In the wake of the incident, Alaska Airlines, in collaboration with the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, initiated an extensive and meticulous investigation to determine the root causes of the failure. The inquiry revealed that the cowling fasteners, critical components responsible for securing the engine casing, exhibited microfractures. These tiny, almost imperceptible cracks had developed over time due to repeated stress and material fatigue. Additionally, the fan blade was found to have similar fatigue-related issues that standard visual inspections had failed to detect, underscoring a gap in traditional maintenance protocols. Recognizing the gravity of these findings, the FAA issued a series of recommendations aimed at preventing similar incidents in the future. These recommendations emphasized the necessity of integrating advanced, non-destructive testing (NDT) methods into regular maintenance schedules. Techniques such as ultrasonic testing, which uses high-frequency sound waves to detect internal flaws, and radiographic testing, which employs X-rays to reveal hidden structural weaknesses, were highlighted as essential tools for identifying defects that might otherwise go unnoticed. Following these recommendations, airlines worldwide initiated the implementation of comprehensive and meticulous inspection protocols, marking a pivotal shift in the aviation industry's commitment to safety and maintenance standards. This widespread adoption of enhanced procedures fundamentally altered how airlines prioritize and address the structural integrity and operational reliability of their fleets. Aircraft manufacturers, including industry leaders such as Boeing, meticulously analyzed the findings and integrated them into their design philosophies. These companies undertook extensive research and development efforts to refine their engineering practices, leading to substantial advancements in engine technology and structural architecture. These improvements were specifically aimed at reinforcing the durability of critical components, such as engine blades, fuselage sections, and wing assemblies. Additionally, the enhancements sought to bolster the aircraft's overall resilience to wear, fatigue, and environmental stressors encountered during flight operations. The overarching objective of these refinements was to create aircraft that not only met but exceeded stringent safety standards, thereby providing an unparalleled level of protection for passengers and crew. By embedding these advancements into their designs, manufacturers ensured that every aspect of the aircraft's performance and longevity was optimized, fostering a safer and more reliable future for global air travel. The incident served as a transformative and highly influential learning moment for the aviation industry, underscoring the essential need for continuous innovation in both maintenance practices and aircraft design enhancements. It highlighted the critical importance of addressing the challenges posed by material fatigue, a phenomenon where structural components degrade over time due to repeated stress, and emphasized the necessity of implementing proactive measures to detect and mitigate such issues. This event illuminated the vital role of advanced engineering solutions and regular, rigorous inspections in safeguarding the structural integrity of aircraft. Furthermore, it reinforced the importance of adopting forward-thinking strategies to enhance long-term operational reliability, thereby ensuring the safety of passengers and crew while fostering trust in aviation systems worldwide. The incident evolved into a significant case study in the field of aviation safety, serving as a powerful example of the critical importance of meticulous and comprehensive maintenance protocols in ensuring the reliability and safety of aircraft operations. It also underscored the immense value of rigorous and thorough training programs for flight crews, which prepare them to respond effectively to emergencies under high-pressure conditions. Captain Miller and his team's composed, methodical, and resolute actions during the crisis were widely celebrated, earning them recognition as an embodiment of the extraordinary professionalism and dedication that characterize the modern aviation industry. Their ability to maintain focus and make precise decisions under intense circumstances highlighted the depth of their training and experience, further emphasizing the industry-wide commitment to excellence and safety.